Hi, I'm Craig Phillips. Welcome to my top trade tips. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your old radiator with this new one without draining down the system. Now, the equipment you're going to require are some old cloths and some buckets for when you're draining the system down, adjustable spanners, a radiator key, and then for marking up you'll need your pencil, your tape and your spirit level, some PTFE tape, some fixings that will normally come with your radiator, and a cordless drill with some drill bits. Now, before you start to isolate your valves and remove your radiator, you want to work out where your flow and return is, meaning your hot water is going to come in one side and exit the other side, because new modern radiators, sometimes they require a certain direction of them coming in and out. Not all of them, but some of them do, and we'll get into that later. So, before I turn the system off, I'm going to leave it on and I'm going to turn my heating up, and you'll feel one pipe get warmer than the other pipe, because that's the hot water coming in and it's starting to fill your radiator up, and it's pushing what cold water has been standing in there out of the other pipe. And then once you've distinguished which is your return and your flow, then you can turn them off one side, and then this side I've took the top section off there. I'm going to get my small adjustable spanner and I'm going to close this valve down. Now I've isolated the flow and return, I'm going to release a little bit of the pressure from the bleed valve here at the top. I'll take the radiator key. I'm just going to get a little small jug. It's got a tiny little hole on the front of it here, so hopefully we might get, yeah, there we go, a little bit of water coming out there. So now I'm going to put a little cloth around the back there, put my bucket underneath, one under that side, and I'm going to grab hold of the actual valve here. I'm going to loosen this one off. So you don't want to do that too fast. You just want to let it start to fill up into your bucket. And if you loosen your valve off a little bit more at the top, the bleed valve, it should come out a little bit quicker. So this is looking like all the water, or most of the water, is out of the radiator. I'm just taking that off, so it's disconnected now from here, and I'll do the same with this side now. So this nut goes upwards, and that is your radiator taken off the wall. Both valves are isolated. So now I'm going to unscrew the 4 brackets and remove them off the wall. Fill in the holes with a little bit of filler. You can leave that to dry, sand it down and paint it before you apply your new radiator. Now, the new radiator that I'm going to be installing is the Athens matte black double column traditional radiator from Bathroom Mountain. Now you can see these stickers on the bottom and the top indicating that the inlet is here and the outlet that side, and of course a sticker on the top. If your plumbing at home was vice versa, it doesn't matter with this style of radiator because it is universal. The brackets that hold it to the wall can fit on the front or the actual back of it. It doesn't matter, so it's ideal to work on both types of plumbing. But what I've got to do now is find a suitable position where these brackets are going to be, 2 at the bottom and 2 at the top. And I'd normally recommend on that kind of outside column on here, that second to end one and the second to end one here. So we know that they're going to be fixed into position because they mould in nicely in the shape of here. But these brackets themselves are quite an unusual shape. Now, you can't quite see it, but they're sloping down a little bit. When these are fitted to a wall upright like this, they're going to stand up a little bit higher than the back edge of it. So when we position that on the wall, we have to take that into consideration, that that top bit is going to be in line with the center point of your inlet and your outlet. Now remember, we're dictated to by the height of these, because these at home are already fitted into position. You might have a little bit of play in them, but some people may not have any play in them whatsoever. So getting the position of these to be screwed and bolted into the wall is very important. The center of my valves are 290, so I'm going to put a mark on my wall at 285, 5 mil lower than what the center point here is, and that's to accommodate the shape of this bracket, because that is the center point of my valve, but it slopes down towards the back. Now your measurements at home may be different if your pipes coming out the wall are a little bit higher or a little bit lower, so do make sure you measure the center of yours at home, transfer that on there, and 5 millimeters less to cater for this type of bracket. The next stage is to find the center of your two pipes coming out the wall. Now I had a 500 radiator, so I'm about 580 apart. Yours may be different at home, of course. So do take measurements, find your center point. Now I'll take the measurement between the brackets and find the center point of this. Now this size radiator is 470, and my center points for the screw on the brackets will be 312, and then my half point of that is 156 millimeters. Back to the wall, my center point of my pipes, bring it to here, and then I'll measure 156. That's 156 to here, a little point there, and then right across to 310, about 12 is about there. So that should be my bracket fitted here, level with this. Remember, we come down 5 millimeters, which will take me up to that height, which is the center point of these. And that mark there is my drill point for each bracket. So again, I'll take a little small level, just do a little line up here, and same again this side. That now will be the center point of these screw holes. So we place that in position there. Draw my marks on here and here. Same again this side. Ensure my vertical line is in the center of those holes, and then I draw around them again. Now you get some screws and raw plugs to fix the brackets to the wall. They come with the radiator. However, these are designed for a masonry wall, which is solid. You drill them in, push them in, and then they'll screw in place. But we have got a lightweight hollow wall here. It's a plasterboard, so I'm going to be using a different type of fix. And I drill a hole in first, and these open up behind and anchor the bracket into position. I'm going to start with a 9mm masonry drill bit with the drill onto a masonry setting and drill in where my holes are drawn on the wall. Once they're pushed in, you can squeeze your device and it'll start to, that's it. There we go. So that plug now is pushed through and it's opened up behind it, and hopefully should anchor that into position. I'm going to put another one directly below it. Okay, so now the plugs are into position. I'm going to slide my bolt through with a washer on the outside of it. Just start to hand tighten that until it bites. Place my one below it. Take my screwdriver. then same again on the opposite side. Now the two bottom brackets are firmly fixed into the wall, we need to work out a height for the top brackets, and we do that by taking a measurement from the top inlet opening to the bottom inlet opening right between the centres, which is 1,727 millimetres. Now that's on an 1,800 millimetre radiator. So put the tape measure on the top of the bracket that's fixed in place, and then get a measurement of 1727, which is about here. And then I'll need a long spirit level and line that up with my screws in the centre of the bracket. So that's my height, 1727, and that's my upright level line to the centre of my brackets. So I'll just transfer that across. So I need to be a little bit taller. That is the top part of my bracket. So my bracket will be in line with that. Then using your pencil, mark where you're about to drill. You'll do the same on the opposite side for the left bracket. Take a level from the bottom bracket right the way up and draw the centre point. Transfer the height from the right side to the left side. Again, placing the bracket and marking where you're about to drill. One final check with the tape measure before you start drilling. If you're happy, drill your 4 holes using a 9mm drill piece. And then place your anchor screws into the hole, push them in with your device and open them up. Then you can screw the bolt out of them. Once they're all in place, put your brackets into position, sliding your bolt between them and fasten them up tight using a cordless screwdriver. Continue this on all 4 brackets, and then you're ready to hang your radiator. Lift it yourself if you can, if not, get somebody else to help lift it with you. And that'll hold it into position. Now the radiator's firmly attached to the wall, we need to replumb it. Now I said earlier that this was a 470 millimetres wide, and the old radiator that I took off was 500 millimetres wide. Therefore, you're going to need these radiator valve extension pieces. Now these attach into the valve, and then we place a nut over one end with an olive. And these are placed into this end first. And that'll squeeze that olive inside there and expand it around and get a nice solid fitting. And now we'll do the same to the opposite side. So now the 2 valves are connected at the bottom, I'm going to close up the outlets at the top using these. You just hand screw these in, and then take your grips or your adjustable spanner, tighten them up, and then you have your little grommet in there that you can unscrew to let the air out when you start to allow the water to fill the radiator up. And now that these are connected and tightened up, I can turn the water back on through the valves. The water will start to fill up the radiator, and then I can close this up once all the air is removed. Now there's another option when it comes to the radiator valves. As you know, I didn't drain down the system, we just turned it off. However, some people choose to buy new valves which are designed to go with this style of radiator, which of course looks fantastic. However, you would fit it all the same, brackets, wires, levels, etc. But you wouldn't be able to do it while the system is live, because once you disconnect this valve, of course the water is going to continue coming out of there. So you would have to turn your system off, completely drain it down to be able to connect these onto here. And then of course it's refilling it back up again, rinsing it through, etc. So it is more of a job for a professional boiler engineer. So that's how you change your radiators without draining the system down. If you're looking for more inspiration, check us out on all social media handles and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. But if you want to know more about the vast range of products that Bathroom Mountain offer, check out their website, bathroommountain.co.uk.